We got 8 American things Britain doesn't even have a word for. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Yeah, let's jump straight into this, man.
So it's very important for British people living in America, like me, to know the difference between the shoe brand and something else that Americans call a hush puppy before I put my foot in it. Literally in the case of the shoe.
I'm guessing I've never heard hush puppy before.
Hello, I'm Lawrence Brown, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to words. And you and I both know this by now. It's often said that Britain and America are two nations divided by a common language. And what does this mean? It means that English is a prominent language in both countries, but that we have different words and spellings and pronunciations for the same things. But what if I told you right here and now that both Britain and America have things for which the other country...
Football, soccer, chips, fries. I swear you guys have like a different type of biscuit. Our biscuit's not your biscuit. There's loads.
Doesn't even have words. Well, today I'll be looking at a selection of those from the United States of America, a country I've lived in for the past 13 years. Now, as with all things Britain...
Oh, wow. I didn't realize he was living... I knew that he was living in America, but I didn't know 13 years. Jesus.
America, a lot of these words come back to food, whereas some of them pertain to social customs, the law, and America's obscenely large landscape. And so, without further ado, here are 8 American things that Britain doesn't even have a word for.
Here we go. We don't even have an elephant ear.
Here's a story. Several years ago, my wife took me to the Indiana State Fair. And when I say she took me there, I got absolutely no say in the matter. And even as we stood in line for the world's most famous pig race, I couldn't help but look around me and notice the types of fair food that were on offer. Of course, you had cotton candy, and of course the British do have a word for that. It's candy floss. You had hot dogs, otherwise known in Britain as hot dogs. And then you had elephant ear. And some British people, perhaps even some American people, might be thinking, oh, you ate a part of an elephant? No, thank goodness it's not a real elephant ear. No, this is just a type of fried dough that happens to be shaped like an elephant ear or a frisbee gone wrong. And the reason I say that some Americans might not recognize this name is that it goes by different pseudonyms. You see, while Britain might not have a word for this, America has plenty.
Well, we don't even have that food. I don't even know what that is on the plate.
As well as elephant ear and fried dough. It also goes by fry bread. Fried bread, not to be confused with the fried bread that you might find on an English breakfast. Completely different beast. Doughboys.
Wait, I've never seen fried bread. Maybe I'm not that adventurous, you know what I mean? That I believe that it is in the UK, but I've just never seen
scones, again, not to be confused with an English scone / scone, pizza frit, or my personal favourite, frying sauces. And while we're on the subject of American-derived food, that brings us on to this.
Grits, right. I've watched quite a few food videos, and they're always going on about grits and stuff. Like, apparently they're really good. Yeah. Honestly, I've seen the videos. I still don't even know what they are. Like,
grits. Now, on the face of it, grits sound absolutely awful. Because when I think of the word grit, I think of two things. I think of grit to mean courage and resolve and strength of character, but usually sweat. Or grit as in small bits of stone or sand. Either way.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure we put grits, like, I don't know if that's what we call it. I can't remember. But we put it on like snow to like, you know, dissolve it and stuff.
I don't want to eat that. But it turns out that grits, a Southern American dish, is a type of porridge. And I know what you're thinking, Britain, that's ridiculous, Lawrence. We do have a word for porridge, and it's porridge.
Wait, can you... Well, in America, you can fry everything. So I'm pretty sure I've seen fried grits. I'm pretty sure.
This is a specific type of porridge and a big deal in the southern United States. But in the unlikely event that you're thinking of moving to the United States just because you want to live where grits is, but you don't want to move to the southern United States because you can't stomach 400-degree temperatures. In my experience, you can get grits here in the Midwest, and I assume other places in the United States. Second thoughts, it'd be easier just to stay in Britain and look up the recipe online. That's something you can't do so easily with this.
Butte.
Yes, B-U-T-T-E. Now, before I go any further, it's probably important, in the interest of not being demonetized, that I point out that this word is pronounced Butte. And it's probably quite an appropriate pronunciation because buttes are often beautiful, or at the very least, Stunning. Now, some people might be thinking, get to the point, what on earth is a butte? Well, a butte is a very specific type of hill, and this specific type of hill is not commonly found in Britain. It's a type of hill that
I've
has
never
a
heard
flat
this
top
word.
and vertical or nearly vertical sides. Think of the Mitten Butte in Monument Valley in Arizona, or Devil's Tower in Wyoming, or to give it its official name, Richard Dreyfuss's mashed potato. And now that we're 3 words into the list, do you want me to go on to number 4? In other words, do you want some more? Do you want some more? Do you want some more?
Butte.
Well, bring it on.
See, I know what s'mores are now. We don't have them in the UK. A lot of people was commenting on my last video saying like, oh, what s'mores were. They're surprised I've never heard of it. We don't have s'mores in the UK. But it's a type of like dessert, right? I seen fried s'mores in a video, and I think it's like got marshmallow and stuff.
You see what I did there? When I first moved to the United States, I was offered a s'more and I turned it down because I was frightened of what it might be. And then somebody described the content, and my love for them from that moment on only grew, just like my waistline. Of course, Americans know what a s'more is, but this is for my British viewers, i.e. my mum. An official s'more is a roasted marshmallow, right, stuck to a slab of chocolate.
Oh.
Sorry for the noises. And together, they are sandwiched between a graham cracker, right? And if you're wondering what a graham cracker is, it's similar to what the British would call a digestive biscuit, except it's square and Americans pronounce it graham. And because of the fried marshmallow element to all of this, it's...
Oh, I thought you meant like an actual cracker. Wait, what? So you guys in America, you guys call our biscuits crackers?
Sorry for the noises. And together, they are sandwiched between a graham cracker.
Right?
And if you're wondering what a graham cracker is, it's similar to what the British would call a digestive biscuit, except it's square and Americans pronounce it graham. And because of the fried marshmallow element to all of this, it's perfect to make one while you're camping. And you might be wondering,
they look
why
so
is it called
good.
S'more with an apostrophe? Because it's a contraction of some more, meaning that my segue surprisingly made sense for once. Unlike this one. Bring on the dogs.
CarHop.
The word CarHop has nothing to do with dogs because that would be mental. Furthermore, a CarHop is not a type of car that hops because
Is it people hopping into cars?
A CarHop is somebody who serves you food, but while you're in your car. Now, of course, it's pretty well known that it's a big part of American culture to order food at the drive-thru, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about drive-ins. Drive-ins are a still lasting remnant of a bygone era here in the United States.
So like you go there, you order on your phone, you put like your reg in, and then you just bring it to your car. That's really cool. That's really cool.
States where you park your car at the designated drive-in, the CarHop comes to you and takes your order and then brings you your food. And you stay there in this exact same spot right next to the restaurant or cafe or whatever you want to call it. And I personally have come to consider this fine dining even in a Prius. Allow me to do a quick shout out to 2 that I've been to. Recently on my Route 66 journey, I visited the Polka Dot Inn in Braidwood, Illinois.
That's really cool, to be fair.
CarHops serve me every now and again at Jean's Root Beer stand in Anderson, Indiana. And I am told that in some of the more snazzy quarters of the United States, there are even CarHops on roller skates, but they're difficult to find because it's not the 80s anymore.
Jaywalking, right? We don't call it jaywalking because in the UK, you can actually jaywalk. Like in your terms, we can jaywalk. It's not. I hope it's not illegal. I don't think. No, it's not illegal. You can just cross the road at any point. Like it's best to do it at traffic lights and whatnot and stuff like that. But if there's no cars coming, boom, across the road.
Jaywalking. You may remember that I talked about this very topic a few months ago. I had absolutely no idea what jaywalking was. You know, it was a word that cropped up occasionally in films, but I just assumed it was a sport. I thought this was going to be a big deal, right? You know the joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Well, he didn't because he was too much of a chicken. At least that was the case at first, and after my wife had laughed at me 17 times, I started to get the impression that I might be overthinking this. All of the years that I've lived here, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, "Ooh, did you see Ashley? I think she was jaywalking. Better call the cops." The reason we don't have a word for jaywalking in the UK is because that law doesn't exist.
Yeah, bro, I knew I wasn't tripping, man. We are allowed to. It sounds weird saying we're allowed to jaywalk. We can just cross the road wherever we want. You know what I mean? Just don't be stupid, right? But you guys, it's a law to not do that.
And funnily enough, despite our difficult relationship with rain and drizzle, we also don't have a word for this.
Rain check.
Admittedly, perhaps owing to the digital
True.
age in which RSVPing or not RSVPing is done at the click of a button, the word rain check is sadly one I haven't encountered very often since moving here. But I do remember it featuring a lot in American films in the 80s, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I've heard of the word.
Basically, when somebody takes a rain check, it's to indicate that that person cannot accept the invitation right now, right? But they'd be happy to turn up in the future. And you might be thinking,
I didn't know the meaning to it. Wait, what? I thought like if I was to say to someone, oh, rain check, it's like check on yourself, like recheck yourself. Are you together? Does that make sense?
Why is it called a rain check? Does the coming together of people depend on whether or not it's raining? Sort of. You see, it originated in baseball. A coupon might be handed to a baseball ticket holder when the game was cancelled due to rain. And that would mean that that coupon holder could then attend the rearranged game without being charged. And while Britain also has a sport with a batsman and a lot of players who just stand around for no reason, the term rain check never caught on. Of course, that could also be something to do with the fact that we often turn down invitations in favour of that non-specific thing that we've got going on this weekend. Either way, Britain doesn't use the word rain check, just like it doesn't use our final entry, unless you're talking about shoes.
Yeah.
That's right.
How is hush puppy linked to shoes? What is like if someone says hush puppy to me, I'd be like, why are you trying to hush a puppy? Like, huh? You trying to like shush a puppy?
Hush puppy, and to me, and admittedly to millions of Americans,
sounds like a
hush puppy
sweet
was and
candy.
is a brand of shoe. So it's very important for British people living in America, like me, to know the difference between the shoe brand and something else that Americans call a hush puppy before I put my foot in it. Literally in the case of the shoe. Because in the US, and once again, particularly in the southern US, a hush puppy is, once again, another type of fried dough. Specifically...
Bro, I knew it would be... Well, it's not candy, but I knew it would be like some sort of food. But it's also a brand for shoes.
It's a ball about the size of a clementine of deep-fried cornmeal batter. And it sounds disgusting, but... it's not. And if there was nobody around to keep an eye on me, I could happily eat 50 of them a day, but I no longer be alive.
They don't sound
Put it this way,
nice.
from experience, they do taste better than the shoe. And how do I know that? Because I was 11 years old once. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below some other things that the other country doesn't have a word
actually,
for.
it'll be really good to read the comments on this. Let me know down below if you guys got any other words you know that we don't have over here, or you don't think we have over here, and I'll respond to them. I enjoyed the video though, it was really good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.